Quad does go down after getting the counter kill there onto the squishy Nico. These Bash brothers of Inspired and Whippo, though, that front line is terrifying in the chase down, especially when sped up by the Carmen. Inspired, not having died a single time, has fully racked up his bounty right now. So if BLG can actually take him down, that is, well, it just took down. Actually, the bounty just dropped, but it was almost 1,000 gold there. As it drops very rapidly. Thank you, Riot Games. Drop that.
No, gentlemen, I made a mistake. It was foolish of me to think, coming into a series where two teams want to fight, that Whippo wouldn't be equipped for the challenge. He is the man that says,
I'll accept your apology.
We can fight. And you can just see it in the gameplay. Inspired and Whippo on the front line, ready to match the aggression of BLG. Right now, it's Whippo sitting on a side lane, really reaching that raid boss status. Elk in a bit of danger.
Yeah, you can see Masu's missed a shot with all of the cooldown reduction that he has. Just has no cooldown, but there, Quad gonna be caught out again, but he gets himself away. Now bullet time is down. Now the ulti from the Aurora is not ready either. Inspired jumps in, BLG retreating. Whippo coming around on the flank, his bane is gonna be stunned up here on the front line. There's the tank for BLG, run away with almost no HP left to play with. Inspired catches base walk, and Masu's ready to follow. Whippo chasing him back in the fight, and he stabs base walk through the heart. First kill on a FlyQuest there, and Elk has to run. Masu and Quad still firing, and FlyQuest have killed the enemy jungler. They put the enemy support on his last leg, and they're heading over to the Baron.
They gotta go start it up, Flowers. The FlyQuest war machine here does not stop. This Sejuani and Aatrox front line here, chasing them down with a constant speed up from the Karma. Inspired holding his ultimate so they can actually get the chase down kill on a particular target. You mentioned it, take out the enemy smite, and they're gonna get that Baron.
FlyQuest can't afford to waste any more time though, because they're gonna get back to base. The Dragon's pulling in 18 seconds. BLG on soul point are not looking to give this objective up.
Exactly. This is what BLG have earned through their early control of the objective, through that last dragon fight that they stuck around and managed to secure. If they can get this, the Ocean Soul will be huge, especially against the poke of Masu and Quad.
Watch out Quad's positioning here. That Talia has no flash. He could be vulnerable. The Seraph shield is about to come back off cooldown for him though. If they can delay and actually have good positioning on the Dragon.
Okay, last gun still up for now. They're looking to go for the estimating smash. Knight wants to get away, but Whippo is on the hunt. He's immediately going to chase after Knight. Forces him down to about 10% HP. The flash is already gone from the BLG mid. Now Bin's about to get stunned up. He uses the ulti buffer through the Sejuani CC. Whippo continue to pose a threat here on the sidelines as FlyQuest are taking control of the bot side river. They're going to secure the trade.
Whippo knows his job well. Constantly we see him going to attack this Aurora, attack the attempted flanker to take out the threat. If he can exchange his ultimates and go 1-for-1 on ultimate cooldowns there with an Aurora, it is a big benefit to the rest of the team.
On one to stick around, see if he can steal that team white blue buff away. Does get away from being potentially caught there. FlyQuest pushing on the tier 2.
Critically, Knight saved his ultimate, so maybe they want to go for a counterplay.
Inspired jumping in there. Elk takes a ton of damage. Shoots up Barrage, nearly kills him off. Elk's got to go all the way back to the fountain, and FlyQuest are kicking in the front door. Bottom lane tier 3 turret destroyed. Inhibitor is the next target. FlyQuest will clean up both before BLG are able to regroup and respond.
I was worried, but FlyQuest continue to prove my doubts wrong. They fight so effectively, they shepherd BLG exactly where they want them to go. With the Baron, they've broken into the base of BLG, and now all of the pressure is on BLG to find a miracle wombo combo, but they have made some incredible plays on the Quad, and have just not had the damage to kill him. With the Seraphs, with the shielding provided by Lucio, they need so much damage just to get a single kill to win out on a team fight. I feel like BLG just don't have the damage to beat this FlyQuest comp anymore.
And Vedius, this FlyQuest team, they have stuck together for so long. Through last year, they really built up a lot of synergy through last year's Worlds, and it does show in how quickly they go for these plays. Right now, they're actually going into a 4-1 split push. Whippo's even coming a little bit behind on mid lane, a little bit delayed, but with the Baron buff, they should be able to close in on the BLG base.
And we have perfect vision. We know there was only 3 FlyQuest players there, but the amount of respect being given over by BLG as they retreat, knowing that one more bad fight is just the end of the game. FlyQuest have the time to take out the tier 2 in the top lane. The goal lead extends to 9,000. The catch again from Inspired. That's on. Dies before he can find anything. There's your push factor. There's your pop blossom. Gone for the next 30 seconds.
FlyQuest, they're looking to take another tower. They're looking for the Nexus towers. They're looking to take game 1 of this series.
FlyQuest on to the second hitter here in mid lane. Quad also clearing the minions out from bottom as the super minions are about to start flowing in. Knight in some danger. Has to try to get himself away from this, but he's already lost half HP. Wave crashing into tier 3 turret top. That last hitter will not last long. FlyQuest using Masu and Whippo put the damage into that while everyone else applies the poke, harassing towards BLG as they defended their Nexus turret. Fins to the front line and on back alive. BLG have their 5-man defense, but FlyQuest are undeterred. They'll keep the minion waves dying on spawn as they keep fighting the pressure. On goes the engage, but there's no follow-up. Masu the rampage. Base one dies as he tries to jump into the fight. It's only a matter of time for BLG as FlyQuest have no mercy at the Nexus. Masu is unstoppable, and for the first time this game, Knight will fall, as will his Nexus. FlyQuest on home turf are going to win the first game.
Listen to that crowd. Listen to Vancouver right now. FlyQuest opening up with some very strong team play. Every single member on the team did their job in this game. We will take a deep breath and calm down, though, as they won their opening game versus Anyone's Legends as well. And they have a lot of work yet to do. Job is not done.
I mean, FlyQuest do it tutorial style. You really can't break it down anymore that better than the analysts. So let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, I respect for Kobe for keeping it realistic, but I'm not gonna for a while because we need to celebrate this game 1 win by FlyQuest. It was absolutely incredible. I feel like the pressure, whenever they saw anyone out of position, they played so hard as hell.
Inspired was moving on him. This guy was going crazy on this dead body.
It's actually happening. I did not expect how good FlyQuest would be.
Yeah, you went unserious predictions.
Yeah.
Did you win the entire time?
Of course I did, Rouse.
Of course you
Have
did.
you no faith?
Hey, hang on, wait, I thought Inspired was here too. It's not, because he was everywhere. Can we just talk about him, but the team following him as well? Kobe made a point about kind of the amount of time that FlyQuest has been playing together and how much they seem dialed into each other's moves. I think we saw that nonstop.
And they were just so focused. I heard Inspired in the last interview talking about just like anticipating the enemy team, what they're going to be doing, and I felt like at all times, at the very end of the game, on, as you can already see in this replay, trying to go for something, and they just recognize it and buff the engage.
I mean, I just have to say, I love this. You know, coming into this series, my real concerns were how are the soul laners going to look? Quad, Whippo, both absolutely showing up.
Yes.
And it felt like FlyQuest was beating BLG at their own game. BLG is an incredible team fight team. They will show up to every objective. They will skill check you, and FlyQuest skill check them right back.
They absolutely did. I know you were a little bit worried because you said, yes, you're getting these picks, you're getting these skirmishes, but you're not really getting all of the objectives.
Yeah.
However, I feel like they relied on their own, they did a trust fall basically, that they would be able to win the skirmishes later and kill the game that way.
Yep, and they absolutely were right. You know, they were able to actually make that happen, you know, in that critical final fight. It was very impressive to see. I was sweating when we saw 3 dragons and a Ocean Soul, Ocean Soul for the Scion, but you know, FlyQuest, you know, they got that earlier pick on the base one, they got the Baron, they got the earlier setup on that 4th dragon. Thanks to reliable Cisco network fly, win a huge fight by the dragon.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me was like FlyQuest was trying to enter, and they thought they could try and take down the Aatrox. They didn't recognize how BP he actually was with the Stair Stage, so even the MF ulti goes right on top of him, and he doesn't die. And you can even see, Inspired locks down on, recognizes the flash, gets the kill, and the fight looks so good for FlyQuest on the onset.
Exactly, this is a Whippo classic. He loves playing around the Stairs power spike, regardless of the bruiser he's playing. He's famous on it for his Renekton. He based, he bought it there, and then immediately TP'd in. And I'm not sure if BLG realized that the Stairs was even completed, because they hadn't seen his inventory until he arrived. They spend everything on him, they can't take him down.
Do you think that some people don't take Whippo seriously because of maybe some of his other antics, but I feel like when you look closely at all his games, even the ones where perhaps he's not having the best lane, it feels like he always has the team in his back of his mind.
He always rides that line of, I'm not into like in lane at times it'll happen too. He's willing to always trade or get a little bit forward. He knows he's riding that edge, and sometimes they just play so well around it. They're used to playing like that.
I want to take the corner of BLG for just a second, right? Because we were wondering how much that series versus T1 would have affected possibly the mental coming into the series. We would expect them to bounce back, but I gotta say, in watching that bot lane, some of the moves that Algen On did, then some of the positioning, this is not the BLG that last year I came to love, and I know it's kind of a different story currently in the LPL, but you would believe them to rise on top.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they definitely have made mistakes, and that has been something we've seen from them throughout the entire tournament. You think even to play-ins, Gam creating early advantages, they just couldn't hammer it home. And that is one of the reasons that I had some faith in FlyQuest, because I do think that FlyQuest plays the map better than BLG. If they get an advantage, I think that they can win with it, and that is what was giving me hope coming into the series, that we could see that massive upset that we've been waiting since 2019 for.
And just even taking a look at the stats, just riding that line, he did so much damage. The Aatrox 32k, but also damage taken, of course. I feel like Inspired was leading the charge. I think this money is perfect for him just to give him entry in a lot of these fights.
Maybe with the damage on kills, Raz.
Let's see, we got damage on kills. Yes, sir.
So this is all the damage that was a part of an actual killing blow. You can see Bin wasn't really involved in anything whatsoever. It is, that core kind of around the center of the map there. It's Sejuani, it's Talia, it's Masu, and the Ezreal. Those three were putting the most damage into these kills.
Listen, I know it's your shtick, but I'm flip-flopping.
Oh, already?
Welcome, Shox,
I've seen
to the
enough.
promised land.
You have to have a little bit of faith in BLG to bring it back.
I believe in it. Think of what this does to kind of FlyQuest's mindset, knowing they can go toe-to-toe with them, knowing they have drafts in their pockets that they probably want to surprise BLG.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
are you
have
having a flip-flop?
Not yet. Like, I'm holding. All right, I see on it,
Are you
not
not
playing well.
playing
Maybe later. I'm tempted, though. Don't shoot me with a good time. I like it.
BLG has chosen to move on to the blue side, and as Kobe said, of course, anyone's legend also lost that first game versus FlyQuest, but they rebounded after that. Let's see if FlyQuest can bring us to match point.
Hunter in the dark. Master of 9 shots. Oppo Find XX series. Powerful camera, powerful AI.
What a car. Living a dream, huh?
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to?
Okay, I get it now.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Earthshake, chaos around me. So many enemies, they all surround me. They have the blood and revenge, rising with killer intent. The fury ahead is immense, but I will not bend. Look in my eyes, no, you won't see fear. Nothing but fire, and it's not even fair. They all against me, but I'm still here. So go ahead and let them know I'm more than prepared. An army's not enough to silence me. Go ahead and bring the galaxy. Nothing you do can rattle me. Go ahead, battle me. Get out my way. Get out my way. Move. Get out my way. On my way. Get out my way. Move. I gotta do what I gotta do. No one and nothing can stop me. And if you don't think that I can, just watch. Move. Get out my way. Out my way. Get out my way. Move. Yeah, vengeance to the trenches. On my mindset, on a mission. Ain't ready for what I'ma hit with. I'ma go get it, I'ma get this. And I told them I'ma end this. Feel witness. Broke the fire and I got that. Ain't nobody here gonna stop that. Got more than a 12-gauge kickback. I'm about to get that. No one's gonna top that. Putting that work in. If you want the crown, you gotta earn it. Gonna slowly silence means weakness. There's a monster that's lurking under the surface. They about to know. To doubt me, it's a tragedy. You end up just counting the casualties. Victory is my anatomy. Go ahead, battle me. Get out my way. On my way. Get out my way. Move. Get out my way. Out my way. Get out my way. Move. I gotta do what I gotta do. No one and nothing can stop me. And if you don't think that I can, just watch. Move. Get out my way. Out my way. Get out my way. Move. All of that talking stops now.
Let me throw it down to the ground. Make him turn around.
We'll see. You've already got on in the control board inside the pit. Whippo's in the front line here. There's your pop blossom, but it only finds the tank. A lot of damage coming. Whippo, he finds the back of the ball the whole time. Looking to cut him down a little lower. Quad fires back. Inspire to the rampage. And on way down. Elk and Knight firing into Inspire. And Peanut for flash away. Knight wants to go between worlds, but Inspire standing around him. Whippo on the front line. Clock into the kill. And BLG are falling to pieces. Masu kills out. And Knight goes to the wall. Instead, Body won't get anything. And FlyQuest just killed 3 for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MSI 2020. The analyst says, well, the issue gets resolved.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all,
They've lost their
that
collective
is
minds.
disgusting.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
mouse and keyboard gaming. That is absolutely filthy.
Oh, I think just mean in general.
Yeah, no, come on. I'm sorry.
Oh, make it defend themselves.
Oh, that's the best part about it.
Yeah, I see you too, Vedius.
You know, some people say, don't kick them while they're down. Raz is like, that's when they
Gotta
kick
kick
them.
them extra.
Exactly.
Hey,
Don't look back behind you, Vedius.
they're
North American backcaps are there.
hilarious, but obviously they have to cast maybe 5
They do,
games today,
yeah,
so
they do.
can we be as hilarious? I don't know. Let's talk about maybe some stuff
Sure. So the comps are actually inverted. So it is FlyQuest team is on the right, and BLG is on the left. I was really happy with the draft for FlyQuest. You know, a lot of the panel we were talking about. Sure, it's great to be able to execute on incredibly early game focused comp that is really kind of tight wing conditions that is hard to pull off. But also, you can just draft the comp that has incredible counter engage that outscales your opponents and make it a lot easier for yourselves. This game, the pressure is all going to be on BLG. Again, they are the comp that is listed on the left. They are playing the Ahri, the Vi, the Ambessa. It's full send.
Yes.
But you were trying to full send it through a Poppy, through GP ult, through Alistar peeling, through Senna ultimate. There's so many tools I think that FlyQuest have to really absorb that initial engage.
Oh, look at
What if Mouse is messed up?
No, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Oh, does it smell good?
Maybe it smells nice.
Maybe.
It's a
It is
lavender
blue
smell.
with blueberry.
It goes-
You know, it's like a scratch and sniff.
Wait.
That's the next evolution of nice.
Scratch and sniff, nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you may have just come up with a generational idea.
There you go. Well, 10%, whoever makes that.
All right.
No, I don't think that's happening.
But,
But,
you were gonna say something
on the BLG side, I think it's really good at being able to play through sides. Like Ahri, Vi, Ambessa, Kai'Sa can always join those fights. So yeah, in a larger team fight, if you allow FlyQuest to scale, it's gonna be pretty rough. But overall, especially if you give Knight Ahri his best pick historically and allow him to be able to just pick off members, and FlyQuest has made mistakes throughout this tournament, especially in the series, then it could really get tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have
Oh my
the
gosh.
ability to execute on this comp, clearly, right? You know, BLG are a very good team. You know, they're all hands. Bin is going to be on a completely different style champion. We had Sion, then we had Ornn, now we have Ambessa. So it is all about the
I
execution.
want you to cast this though. I don't care about any of it. Right? Like, how many people does it take to replace him now?
But we have a backup just in case. You can see behind right there.
Yeah, there's a few. I will say I feel him though because you know how it is to change mice.
Yeah.
If you're used to playing with them, you gotta adjust. So he wants it to be perfect, which I think we can respect.
Absolutely. I mean, it has to be. I mean, when you're trying to play at this level, like one misclick in a team fight can be the end of your entire
Especially
tournament.
after that last game, he's like, no, I need my mouse to work. I need it to be good.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
be
mean,
on point.
especially if you're talking about your mouse like bumping up or something like that, that just does not sound good at all.
Hey.
But I just want to say, respect to the crowd that's been out here for the time that we've been here in
Yes,
Vancouver.
sir.
They have been incredible. Every single one of you guys, even the last person we saw on camera, like a big ball of energy. So shout out to you guys out there in the crowd.
And you know, if any of you
It's good to be back in Canada.
Yes,
We got
sir.
a couple of good old
Hey,
Canadian boys here. Let's go. Give me that energy.
let's go. Let's see indeed. A lot of fan support for FlyQuest here, and regardless of how you twist the turn, you feel that when you're on
I
stage.
just want to make the point because yes, they've been chanting FlyQuest in the beginning, especially after game one. A lot of these guys, I've asked a lot of people, fan members like where they're coming in from. The thing that I've heard consistently is like this is their first league event. The last time they were here in Canada was 2017 in Vancouver.
Yep.
And for a lot of people who've been like either flying in from Saskatchewan or Toronto or like coming in from Calgary, like it's crazy that people are coming through all around Canada to be able to watch their first league event.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the first ever international in Canada for League of Legends, so definitely really exciting for people to be here, and the crowd has definitely been shown out. We've also been treated to such a good tournament. I do think because
Yeah, you would say that.
well, but also our teams, I would say that yes, our teams are still here playing on stage. But also the fact that we had teams like Furia and like Gam and like CFO, I think surprising and overperforming where people were expecting them to go, really made a lot of the series less predictable, made them more competitive. And then we've had very few blowouts at this event throughout all the way through. Has been a lot of fun to watch. Really competitive. Of course, we still do have a number of days left in the
We
tournament.
do. I don't want to be serious, but I also don't want to really laugh at the situation because this is tragic, right? At this point, he just wants to get back in the game, and you're sitting next to him, and you're like, yes, I also want to get back in the game, but it's got to be perfect. Hey,
You just want comfort. Like you don't want to go into a game like being regretful about like trying to play through a mouse problem.
Let's talk about. You want to talk about Bridesmaids?
I can talk about Bridesmaids. I don't know where you're going, but I'm down.
The BLG. Oh, the Bridesmaid.
True. They're not gonna like the sound of that, but
No,
it is a
and
fact.
it's something that they're fighting up against also this tournament, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially since like they went through a number of roster changes throughout the years, like going from Sun to Wei to Beitron. Like you want to come into this.
We've been locked in.
No, this is looking promising.
They're all kind of wiggling their seats in. You can see the seat wiggle. Getting locked in, making sure.
It looks
Belly has to be
good.
to the mouse when you're playing.
It looks good, so let's head back over to our, two play on PC and one who is not
That
ready.
is a cheater. The one that is a cheater. You can say it.
But we look good too, right?
Yeah, we're chilling. We're having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster desk. As I believe we are just about ready to get back into game. Quad's mouse should be fixed. It's time to play. It's time to lane. It's time for game 3.
All right, let's get into the action.
What happened, Svetty? 20 minutes ago.
We picked some champs. 2 minutes in, we've got some cool drafts. Knight on his Ahri.
Yes.
Beitron on the Vi. We're expecting pressure around the mid lane, on the bot side of the map. Senna stacks. That's what I was about to talk about. So hook connects.
Okay, Lucio immediately disengages.
And Inspired right now is counter jungling, so this is actually one of my favorite things to do in solo queue. And we've seen it actually a couple times, even at tournament already. But he did cross over vision when he went to go steal that away.
Oh, Whippo versus Bin. The 1v1 is both are down to about 100 HP. Bin drinking the potion as Whippo does the same. Those cooldowns early on. Bin, quick burst on the Whippo, but then without anything to fire back with. Whippo traded back aggressively and now has a slight HP advantage. Bin though, just gonna cast another round of spells as Whippo eats the orange.
Yeah, the Gangplank Trial by Fire, the passive is a lot of your early power, so Whipple trying to utilize that here against Ambessa before she has too much of a chance. He's running a little bit low on mana now, though. That is the main problem there, with Ambessa being resourceless.
Okay, Beishwan, you can see as soon as he saw that there was a ward there in the enemy jungle with his sweeper, he immediately decided against actually going for the blue buff. And now when he caught punished, Inspired is looking at the top side. Bin could walk up to this pixel brush to try to ward it, and as soon as he does, he finds Inspired waiting, but immediately ready to dash away.
Yeah, so I can clear out that ward too. And Whipple's got the wave in a nice spot, so without the ward vision, he has to be very, very careful with the positioning. That's going to be a bit rough up there for Bin. Whipple goes to harass him a little bit, but Inspired could just do the crab. His jungle is just getting pilfered for this, though, completely pillaged for denying Bin's Ambessa.
I mean, remember that Inspired was stealing a bunch of camps on the top side of the map, and after revealing himself,
Very good.
now just makes it very easy for that bot side to be invaded. Whippo's lane state is in a fantastic spot right now. Inspired can continue the split map.
It's a full split, and he can go right back top side too after Wolves. He looks like he's going to finish off the Wolves before going back. I was wondering if he's going to visit there again, but since Bin still has his flash, he wants to still keep up his income. So takes the Wolves, is going to go back to visit once again, camping the top side.
Okay, Beishwan though going towards bottom lane. Bucio, 300 HP on the Alistar, he's far back enough, but there's no play for BLG to try to make. Now
He'll
Bin
used.
trying to get himself away, but Inspired has already jumped in here. Bin trying to flash out, steadfast presence from Inspired, but Bin already has the distance. That's the flash down from Ambessa.
And you see there, if you have 4 ranged minions is enough to freeze a lane anywhere up there, so it's a really good spot still for Whippo. I believe he had like, oh, never mind, there's only 2 left.
Down the show. Down the show.
It's always pushing back, it was building up, pushing back.
Okay. Mid lane is going to return to their lane as the trade comes through. Hook connects once more.
Yeah, Bucio still in some danger down here. The Ignite's already been used. Bucio with the counterattack has been pulverized, but there's not a lot of power early on from Masu Senna. Bucio forced to use his Thunder spells defensively to get away safely, but no! Masu drops instead, and Elk and On are running the 2v2 in game 3.
Very nice punish from the BLG bot lane as it Inspired on the dragon.
Inspired's jumping in, and a teleport coming in from FlyQuest side as well. Whippo's making his way down, and since Whippo shows up, Inspired forces Beishwan to flash back out of the wall, and this will be a dragon leashed for FlyQuest as it's secured by Inspired.
Yeah, FlyQuest already had their reset in motion to send their bottom lane up to the top side of the map, so they still get the objective, although the early gold lead here will remain for BLG off that kill.
His wave state is also very nice for Whippo. Again, the wave is pushing into him. TP response will come come through from Bin as the bot lane of BLG try to match. Small advantage gain for BLG as the Dragon is secured for FlyQuest. Overall, still a very even early game.
Nicely for Bin, though. Remember that once Ambessa hits level 6, that is the ability that the passive vamp is tied to, so we'll make it easier for him to try to continue sustaining through some of these trades back and forth with Whippo. Gangplank very annoying, especially with the grasp and the oranges. Doesn't have the grasp to fleet footwork this time around, but still plenty of healing with that keystone alongside the W to keep his health topped off. As we take a look up here in the top side, Masu and Busio giving away that kill in the 2v2. Masu sticking around. We know that when he's at his best, this guy plays the limit, walks the line so well, and that time he stepped a little bit too far over it, and Elk and On were immediately ready to punish.
I mean, the average center stacks that we've seen is that around 14 minutes. Normally it's about 33, and then at 20 minutes it's only been about 50. Whereas for Masu, I feel like on average he's been getting way above that. He's been kind of overperforming in terms of the center stacking, and I've been super impressed with how well, even when he's put behind, he's been able to still have huge impact on the champion.
Yeah, they're definitely big fans of the champion, and we should go back over because it was so long ago that we did talk about it, but the champion combinations here for FlyQuest are really built to scale and kind of lean into that center stacking and scaling as a team overall. You know, Gangplank trying to farm up as much gold as possible, extra gold, using the passive, and eventually they're going to have so many answers here for what BLG are showing. But BLG, they're showing a lot of hard engage, and so we'll see in the next 5 to 10 minutes when BLG start to turn it on and they start to go very aggressive for their kills.
Like they're doing right now. Baseline level 6 on the buy immediately engages on Busio. Drawing Shadow from Masu, can't save him. It's a 1-0 for BLG as On gets away with 100 HP. Baseline level 6 first here in the jungle, and it pays off for BLG.
BLG's comp just has so many playmakers on it. The hook CC that's provided by the Nautilus, Inspired has found by.
Yeah, Inspired jumping in there for the slam of the wall. Meanwhile, bottom lane, the realm warp in. Bin has to run towards the FlyQuest side. Whippo drops the ultimate down for Cannon Barrage to slow the Ambessa, but now Whippo's got to be careful. Quad with the flash to guarantee that Bin doesn't get an outplay. FlyQuest are finally on the board. Up here on the top side, Masu cancels his own recall, and with Inspired jumping in there and forcing Daishuan away from the Void Grub pit. Now, Daishuan has made his way back towards it with the control of the top side from Elk and On. They can rotate down, Knight can rotate up. It'll be all 3 Void Grubs for BLG.
Yeah, BLG going to collect them all. Yes, it is going to be some scary stuff there. If Ryze is able to get a lot of early income, that can be devastating for BLG as well. So Quad getting the kill to help fund his double stacking build here for Ryze, plus then getting a turret plate afterwards as well to really fund that split push that he wants to be able to build into is very good for the game plan that FlyQuest have set up.
I think FlyQuest are utilizing the pressure well. They immediately move into the bot side jungle, knowing that all this top side was just invested by BLG to secure that grubs. Bin is now in a very scary position, and On wisely looks to try and cover him, knowing that he's at the threat of a dive. This bot side jungle is a very scary place for BLG to inhabit, and so On is looking to clear out some of that vision and give Bin a little bit more information so that he can still gain access to that farm.
Yeah, I think the onus is on BLG to make their plays, to force their kills and get their money, because FlyQuest are going to be looking to play the entire map, really spread out here, with Ryze, Gangplank, and Senna all having really good wide map options. And then, of course, the Poppy Alistar, as you mentioned, trying to play that defense and keep their towers up. Let's see, though, pushing out here for Whippo against Elk, even though they do have the rotation of the Nautilus coming up. Whippo should be fine. He's a Gangplank, and he has his flash up. Well, it's pretty deep.
Yeah, he's very far forward now. TP's coming in from both sides. Whippo gonna take some damage here to start, down to about half HP. Flashes away from the hook, but Knight's ready to follow. Johnny Shadow, the shield under Whippo. The charm hits, but the orange won't save him. Now, On stuck, rounded, rooted up, and he'll be burst down next. Inspired grabs the kill, and Busio jumps forward. But Knight's already clear the distance. FlyQuest make it 1-for-1, but Masu's gonna drop if he's not careful. BLG successfully get their carries away to the safety of the tier 1 turret.
That was actually quite good for BLG because now they're the ones with the split push. They're the ones with Bin getting fed on the bottom side of the map. FlyQuest, they tried to assemble the Avengers. They tried to get everybody there, and they only got 1 kill back for that death. They spent so many resources up to the top side of the map. So BLG, they just get the bottom side money for Bin and the Dragon for themselves.
Exactly, Kobe. It was just such a huge investment for very little gain, and so BLG took that opportunity to get so much on the map. Great awareness from BLG. They've now amounted a 1.2k gold lead, and it's just kind of evenly spread across the side with the bulk of it sitting onto Elk. That bot lane already getting a 2 versus 2 kill early. They got the gank from Baseline as well, and now more resources spent towards the top side. I was expecting this to be a mid-focused early game plan for BLG, but no, they've been funneling everything into Elk, and he's looking to carry here in game 3.
Yeah, with all this extra money here for BLG, the threat behind their engage and their pick opportunities is going to be massive.
And you already said, Kobe, that the onus is on BLG. It's up to them to drive the pace of this game forward and make this dive comp work. And you've got the best diving AD carry in the game with 4 dive buddies ready for that lead as Bin just continues scrapping with Whippo's Gangplank. The shield's making it so Whippo doesn't even get any valuable damage in return. Perfect execution. Bin jumps in. Whippo about to fall, and Bin gets the solo kill.
Bin getting rich is a very dangerous thing for FlyQuest. The solo polo, after he just got so much money in the previous bottom side exchange, getting turret plates for himself, that funded his Eclipse, and he goes right in, nails the ultimate onto the Gangplank.
I mean, the Eclipse spike versus the components. Whippo has now finished the Trinity Force, but Bin with great awareness of not only do I have more level, so I've got now more CDR, but also I just have more damage than you. Picks an initial trade, fully commits, and now Busio in danger.
Busio pops the Unbreakable Will immediately as BLG engage on him, and now he has no powerful defensive tool. Quad's in danger as Knight uses the Spirit Rush immediately, going point blank with Quad. He lands the charm right to the dive follow-up. There's the Dredge line too. BLG have so many tools, and they're beating FlyQuest to death with them.
And this is what we talked about in the draft. BLG don't have to slow the game down. They have so many ways to force skirmishes, force collapses, and this was another fantastic collapse. They got control of the midway, they moved into the top side jungle. Quad doesn't respect the potential collapse, and now Inspire gets hooked.
Inspire just going where he has no business being. On sees free money presenting itself, and he is happy to collect.
BLG, they're not slowing down at all. It's going to be a steamroll here. They're getting out of control with the amount of money. That's going to be the tower as well.
This is almost a 4,000 gold lead with that first turret falling. 14 minutes into the game, by far the most one-sided early game in the series. Here in game 3, BLG are absolutely dominating FlyQuest.
They get the flash out from Quad as well as a nice charm comes through from Knight. Pick after pick, pressure across the map. BLG is continuing to mount advantages, but they need to get the reset off. 30 seconds until the Herald spawns, and BLG will want to take everything.
Bin. He is going to be a terror. Bottom side pressure is relentless there. Teleport's available as well for the mid laner so they can answer. I believe we'll just send Knight up to the top side to answer for now. And Quad has to be careful because look at how deep those wards are. Whenever BLG take over an area of the map, you can see leaving behind a bunch of vision right here. That just enables further picks for them. So FlyQuest, their goal of trying to farm up and play the map, well, they're going to go for that Bin.
They've got to try to get this here as Bin want to use the perfect execution on Quad. The nice sidestep means no way out for Ambessa. Inspired picks up the kill. The lead for BLG back down to 3,000, but that's still a commanding advantage. Busio looking for even more of a TP from BLG. On! Flash Dredge Line finds Quad. The rod the immediate target, and BLG has found another kill. Now FlyQuest scrambling to keep the fight going as Knight is ejected. Keeper's burning. Knight trying to save him as On's about to drop back. FlyQuest are going to find On. FlyQuest are going to find another on Baseline, and FlyQuest win the fight. The gold lead drops from 3,000 down to 2. Masu step away from the Spirit Orb, and FlyQuest will finally stop the fight.
In the extended exchange, FlyQuest come out on top. Just a few seconds ago, it was a 3.9k gold lead for BLG, but FlyQuest have brought it down to 2. Getting a couple of shutdowns, getting that kill onto base 1 was massive, and this is what we needed to see from FlyQuest. Finding picks on the map. This engage looks very suspicious. A quick TP comes through for BLG, a nice engage from On. Once they've used all their resources to take out Quad, the collapse from both Whipple and Inspired, with a beautiful ultimate on tonight as well, allows for FlyQuest to create a numbers advantage and get themselves 2 kills in exchange.
Yeah, huge poppy value there, Medias, as you point out, knocking him out. Also, they fought on the Gangplank ultimate too, so a bunch of value there, and FlyQuest bringing this one back to within reach.
It might have been a stumbling point there for BLG, but they are definitely not done yet. They're going to keep this going forward with Beishuan starting up the Rift Herald. No interference here from FlyQuest because Knight is already on the tier 2 in the top lane.
Before that fight has started, I was about to talk about how there are still some bright spots for FlyQuest they can keep their eyes on. That, in particular, Masu, with the static shift completed, he has access to a lot more wave play now, and his stacking continues to be on point. We're getting closer to 20 minutes, and he's well on pace to get above the 50 stacks mark. BLG, though, they're not going to slow down their aggression. They know they're in the driver's seat. They've set their eyes on the top side of the map. They want to contest this tier 2 tower.
Meanwhile, you're going to see Inspired working on the next Drake. BLG, though, happy to trade Dragons for gold here as they'll secure the tier 2 in the top lane. That is BLG grabbing their second turn of the game, both of them here in the top side.
Now, they have to have Masu be a little bit careful in mid lane, and they are just going to back off, push the wave, steal the Raptors, take that gold for themselves. Yeah, BLG pushing it forward, though, getting a secondary one. I think FlyQuest, honestly, are still kind of okay with the situation, getting, again, more focused gold onto Rise here for Quad to be able to put that pressure up.
Yeah, obviously the gold difference is still important, but it's important to recognize where it is, and it's 1.3k gold in favor of On. Now, of course, having an extra support item, always a nice thing to have, but in terms of carry itemization, Knights takes a bit of damage. In terms of carry itemization, FlyQuest is not that far behind. The 2 mid lane is pretty evenly matched. The Heralds will drop in mids as BLG do not want to slow this game down.
Yeah, important to note, though, Elk is on the 2 fully completed item power spike for Kaisa. Very, very threatening here on this 80 carry pick to dive in with everybody else on the team. Beishuan clearing out some vision. BLG down 1 Drake to 2, so it's not like they'll be able to use those to force FlyQuest to come to fights anytime soon if FlyQuest don't want to. But BLG have been forcing plenty on their own without needing the objectives to get it done. Speaking of objectives, it's only 1 minute until Otacon spawns, and with BLG still sitting on a 3,000 gold lead, I feel like this is probably going to be our next battlefield.
Look at Knight sitting in this top lane. He is so deep, but he's playing with so much confidence because of that control that he has. He feels very safe with his ultimate and his flash available. And on the side lane, what connects?
Yeah, On just finds Busio, though, not really super worried about it.
Yeah, Busio and Inspired have been doing their jobs. These 2 body blockers, they are the bouncers on the FlyQuest composition here. The Poppy and the Alistar are so critical in interrupting a lot of these dashes and these aggressive BLG moves. We're kind of at a little bit of a tipping point here, though. BLG, they can tip over and get a couple more big objectives for themselves. They already are taking over a large area of the map, and more area means more possibilities of picking off FlyQuest members and getting that gold. So 2 more outer towers going the way of BLG means they can set up this vision, kind of deep in your jungle, and look to pick off FlyQuest when they rotate.
Yeah, that's another turn. It's back to a 3,500 gold lead. Whippo trying to respond and get something in the top lane, but Knight is already here. He's immediately clearing out the wave, and Whippo doesn't have a chance to find any sort of counterattack. Remember that both top lane turrets are down for FlyQuest side. There's nowhere really for Whippo to retreat to, which is why you can immediately see Busio and Inspire both making their way up here, guaranteeing that Whippo has a way out. If anybody gets picked on FlyQuest, you're already down so much gold. It's instantly free icon. If BLG can find a pick, really, really scary stuff here right now for Fly, as BLG are just not letting up. Relentless now, as you can see, all of those second item power spikes starting to come online. Spear plus Eclipse for Bin's and Vesta. The Black Cleaver now done for Beishuan on the buy as well.
Now I want to see, will FlyQuest go for one of these trailing split push plays? Because they have so many options with their global ultimates, with Gangplank, with the Senna here, and the Realm War possibilities. Nobody right now. They are looking for a mid push first to finish off this objective. This tower's already fairly low. Slinks come in from Vi, though.
Serpent's Fang on Whippo, counter shield of Bin, of Vi, of the Kaisa as well. The Killer Instinct could be the difference between cutting that shield in half. Could be the difference between life and death.
Good job there by FlyQuest not getting baited in by the low health turret. They actually do get one of the teleports out for themselves, and they escape up to the top side.
Right, BLG, control the top side. River, Otacon spawn. FlyQuest gonna have to try to make sure that they can at least have some information in the area. They do not want to give this away to BLG on creeping his way up here. Keeping an eye out, seeing if maybe they can set up a pick onto Whippo. They know this Gangplank wants to keep farming in the side lane. They know that he wants to keep scaling.
And that Gangplank is providing a lot of value with the Serpent's Fang already, because there's so many shields on the enemy team, but Otacon's already started up flowers.
Yeah, the Otacon's down to half HP. On's not gonna hit his dreadline. FlyQuest is on the approach. BLG back up a little bit here as Masu tries to enter in. Cannon barrage already used, forcing BLG back. Now Otacon down to 3,000 HP. FlyQuest still thinking about it, but Keeper's Verdict was already used. Yes! Stolen away by Beishuan, absolutely massive there. But what about the rest of the fight? BLG backing up now. They've lost On, but they claim the Otacon.
The tower is still standing in the top lane, so BLG have a nice sentry to fall back to. BLG surely they're not fishing for a fight here. They're a man down. An exchange of their support for the Icon, I think it's a worthwhile trade for BLG.
That was quite big. The power behind it could be huge, especially because their comp is built to get a kill very quickly, so you can get that on-kill effect from Otacon pretty reliably. Rotation over for Dragon's Soul Point, though.
Exactly. FlyQuest trying to use the opportunity with On's death timer just now ending. He's got to make his way back out onto the Rift the long way. Nautilus forced to walk all the way down here. As FlyQuest hanging on the brush, Busio goes in for the 2-man knockup. Bin and Elk, not under a whole ton of pressure. Dawning Shadow. Busio still alive. Quad has to be careful here in the front line. Beishuan to the back. Pressure on the FlyQuest here. And Masu stays alive. But Quad is already down. Beishuan dies next. On tanking in the front line. As Busio dies down. The Killer Instinct from BLG is there. Nice trying to escape. Inspired needs one. BLG finally finds him. Shut down over Whippo though. But Elk hunts him down. It's a 2v1 left on the map. 3 down on BLG, 4 down on FlyQuest. It's a bot river bloodbath.
It's an insanely close fight between the two, but Elk was the difference maker. Patient with his ultimate. He does not go in too early, recognizing and waiting for his right opportunity. He gains access onto the backline. He collapses onto the rest of FlyQuest, and he turns the fight in their favor. We're going to go back all the way to the Icon fight, starting on the top side. A beautiful steal will come through from Beishuan. He's going to flash in range. He's going to land the smite just in time. Oh.
Yeah, and before that, he queued backwards to dodge the Poppy ult. He queues backwards, dodges the Poppy ult, comes back, flashes in range. Honestly, huge by the BLG jungler.
Then the re-engage comes through. Masu in a good position to start, but then Beishuan sets his sights onto the AD carry. The fight becomes split on 2 fronts. Keep your eyes on Elk on the left-hand side. Busio tries to get away to take, and now Elk is behind them. It looks like a winning position, but because Masu in the 1v1 against Elk cannot win, and end up going the way just barely of BLG.
Yeah, Bin and Elk up on that top side, getting so much power there, collecting the kills. That was a very close one, and now it is going to be pretty heavily towards BLG. They pick up the second dragon, so they relieve some of that pressure there, working towards that Dragon Soul and use the extra gold. FlyQuest, though, defense is still possible. Just gets much more difficult because these extra kills are giving over more empowered Otacon flowers as well. That means more burst damage that comes from BLG.
BLG, 4,000 gold ahead, even Drake State. Now trying to see how much more they can force here as FlyQuest still quickly, though, have control of their own side of the map. They can still secure their own buffs.
I want to take a moment to shout out Baseline there because that was such a big play up by Otacon, and he's only been on this BLG team for a couple months, and there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders considering the star players that he has joined on this team, especially on Knight and Bin. You look at these names, and to have a clutch moment on the international stage could bode well for the future.
BLG have developed quite the history now when it comes to junglers, and they've been trying to find that one piece that can help bring the team together, and that's what Baseline was able to do. So what you want about his ceiling potential player, what he's been able to show, what he does do is he helps bring this BLG team together, and he's doing it in this game 3.
Right now, Gnasher's Tooth completed for Elk. 3 fully completed major items, a maximum 700 gold extra bounty, 4, 0, and 6, a 2,500 gold lead as an individual. We were talking earlier about how a lot of the BLG gold lead is on the support, how that can be less effective than the gold being placed elsewhere. 2,500, almost 3,000 gold on a Kaisa in a full dive comp. Elk is armed and dangerous. He has everything he needs to carry this game.
Yeah, you could say that's effective. That is a very effective Kaisa right there, and we'll see if they can find their engage over the wall.
Gonna get jumped on here by Busio. Get him now immediately. Buster's about to die at the very start, and he's barely hanging on as Quad goes into the stasis, but now he's dead. Buster's down 2. BLG have cut everybody on FlyQuest to pieces, and Busio inspired after trying to get away. Ben goes in for perfect execution as Busio drops. It's 2 for 5, and BLG are still standing.
That's going to do it for BLG. They should be able to take the Baron afterwards and the tower at the same time. They just deleted Quad and Masu right at the beginning of this fight. Both of those big carries for FlyQuest down so early.
FlyQuest thought that they had caught on, but really they had walked into a trap of their own. Knight with an immediate engage over the wall. He gets knocked out of the fight, but being clumped up like this, with Elk's positioning fine and safe on the back line with the re-arrival of Knight, it just becomes the decimation of the FlyQuest roster as they find an ace and a Baron as well.
With the Otacon power, with the Baron power, BLG now have the tools to push in and close it up.
9,000 gold, the lead for BLG. They've got the Baron for the next 2.5 minutes. I would not be surprised at all to see them go for the kill shot. Why they still have this buff. Whippo and Inspire trying to defend here at the tier 2 turret, but FlyQuest is now so far behind. We're past the realm where FlyQuest can try to make a big move of their own. They're going to need a mistake from BLG, but BLG have all been sending it all together all game long.
And FlyQuest, though, they still have to remain with the game plan. They're trying to play defense while getting resources by split pushing. You see Rise on the top side of the map, trying to push out, look for the objective bounty, while the rest of the team clears waves. Gangplank, very effective at clearing waves here. They're trying to buy themselves some time. They sacrifice that mid inhibitor. They have the Rise, accomplishing something with the split push, but it is a drop in the bucket at the moment.
On's going in immediately. Whippo and Busio to take out their help, but On is dead. Keeper's verdict knocks Elk out of the fight, so that FlyQuest don't have to worry about the major carry.
Quad commits the TP. He was pushing on the top side of the map. He wants to be here in the event they could convert into a winning fight. Both Elk and Baseline got knocked out by the Poppy ultimate as well. So Knight went in, said, okay, I'm going back out again. And so FlyQuest will take the kill. They will, for now, hold on to their base, but with another dragon secured, BLG likely will not stop with the pressure. A quick reset will come back, and then they'll be back right back onto the map.
And look at Elk's inventory. Seeker's arm guard on the Kaisa. This is the green light to fly into the fight whenever he wants to. BLG's next fight, for a game that's already been explosive, is going to be that much more.
FlyQuest are going to have to have an epic defense for themselves for the next 5 to 10 minutes. The dragon coming up is going to be very, very dangerous. That soul is super hard for them to approach, but they're trying to get as much money as they can, try not give up anything before that fight actually draws them out onto the map.
Cloud Soul, always valuable for the movement speed, but you always think about the ultis. Mbessa, Ari, Kaisa, these are all so powerful with that massive movement speed boost, and FlyQuest, it's so difficult to try to hold on now. Knight is going to put in the last little bit of damage needed to clear out the tier 3 turret here in the bottom lane. Only 10 seconds left in the Red Bull Baron power play, but it's plus 2,500 gold thereabout, and 1 inhibitor down, 1 inhibitor exposed in the FlyQuest base as they have to try to scramble to hang on.
FlyQuest, when I think about what options they might have, I look at Masu. Very close to 100 stacks. I think of maybe a quad realm warp if they could perhaps surprise a Baron. Maybe they can create some sort of flank angle. They've got 2 deep wards in the mid lane. Maybe they could use these to create a TP opportunity. Your best play is to just catch your opponents off guard. Inspired's been on point with who he's been connecting those ultimates onto, but if there's not damage or they're not getting a kill in exchange, then FlyQuest don't stand a chance of turning this game around.
Yeah, I was going to say the Poppy as well. That is one ultimate that can be game-changing, even when so much money is against you. If you can change the numbers in a very effective way, then maybe.
All right, On gets stunned by Inspired, but the Acadian Rain from Elk firing back on very low on HP here. Quad is going to get the kill. FlyQuest with another pop onto the support of BLG.
Sometimes it's just a brush camp as well. You put up your controllers, camp on your brush, get a pick.
Now Knight running away, trying to disengage. Busio looking for maybe if there was an opportunity to try to headbutt or flash over the wall, but they didn't have any follow-up firepower, so that means that FlyQuest don't want to go any further.
Nice pick from FlyQuest. Just a few more of those, and reduce the gold gap.
About 25 more Nautiluses, and they might be back to some parity.
But hey, the more time you store, the more time you give to your center. Maybe you can get another item, maybe even another component could be the difference maker. FlyQuest is looking for anything at this point in time. Remember that there's a decent amount of standing gold with all these towers still available. One good fight could swing the momentum massively. And BLG, they're not playing flawlessly right now. They are getting caught off guard.
I did say that as a joke, but even if you killed Nautilus 25 times in a row and he did not get a reduced death bounty every time, a BLG would still be up almost 2,000 gold. That is the state that FlyQuest are
I didn't ask.
I just got to make sure that we all understand how dire these traits are for FlyQuest as BLG drafted this comp that had the burden of execution on them. They had to push the pace of the game forward. They had to make the plays. They had to work together, and they have done it beautifully so far in this game. You look over at FlyQuest, you look at Masu, you look at the win con here in the center. Yes, he's stacking well. He's got 106. Elk has 4 fully completed items.
A wise man once said, if you don't have faith, why are you even here? Down almost 10,000 gold. Vancouver, do you believe in the defense? Do you believe in FlyQuest?
They seem to. It's On tries to go into the engage. Immediate Keeper's verdict to knock Knight back in the fight. FlyQuest again will find the Nautilus.
That's another Nautilus down, Flowers. We're back over the kills. FlyQuest, they're holding strong for now, but look at those minion waves on the minimap. Bot is being pushed in top as well. BLG still exuding that pressure across the map, and FlyQuest, they're funneled into the river.
Doing my best to invoke the ancient magic here. FlyQuest pushing in as 5 with the dragon only 9 seconds away.
Exactly. The Dragon Soul for BLG is about to spawn, and On's not even alive for another 10 seconds. But
Baron.
BLG is saying, all right, you want to take the dragon, go ahead. You're only on 2. They're going to start the Baron up themselves at the same time. They're not doing it particularly quickly, so FlyQuest are going to get the trade and then Realm Warp up to try to stop them. It's the Cannon Barrage to start things off. Knight is trying to cover for the rest of BLG as they make their escape. The Baron starts to regenerate, and On is alive and back on the map. He's making his way up to the rest of BLG. Elk's only about 60% health, but nobody seems to want any more. Not yet.
FlyQuest, the defense is good for now. Min was thinking of flanking. He actually calls it off, though. Minions are on the inhibitor in the bottom lane. They have to go defend.
Yeah, they're really problematic. FlyQuest, they're afraid to concede the pressure that they have on the map right now, but they need to address these waves. The Gangplank ultimate could have used it. It's already on cooldown after the last exchange. FlyQuest, they're so cautious of this Baron dropping dead. Quad now responding to the bot wave, has the TP available, finally going to get that push out. He is so close to a death cap, and we talked about it as a dream, but FlyQuest are looking to make the defense a reality.
Yeah, the teleport coming in for Quad immediately. It's going to be on. It's a danger again. Inspire slams right back in the wall. And FlyQuest is moving forward. Baron down to 5,000. Inspire into the pit. Base wants ejected. Lucio rules for life. FlyQuest take the Baron. Now the follow-up fight back in the wall. Base wants to Lucio. But it will not matter. There is no follow-up. Knight is crestfallen. There's nowhere for him to go. And Elk is hunted in the top side river. Here on Canadian soil, FlyQuest will ascend at the Baron buff. They get the Baron. What can they get afterwards? They're going to immediately top it out and start pushing. Okay, FlyQuest grouped up here on the top side. BLG have lost their major weapon in the bottom lane. Elk dead for the
promo
30 seconds.
minions.
Round 1 for the minions. FlyQuest going in.
Elk is dead for 30 more seconds. The wave for the damage is unavailable. The center is huge.
FlyQuest pushing for the first inhibitor. They're going to find it. 15 seconds on Bin. 15 seconds on Elk. FlyQuest making their way on the next turret. Lucio here on the front line is on trying for Ben. Base 1 to be the next target. Base 1 barely getting away. Lucio's still alive. Matt goes to killing spree. Inspired down to 200 HP. A little bit more damage kills him off. Ben jumps to the flank as Base 1's about to drop. They do secure the kill as Masu is still firing. Elk in the back line and FlyQuest are aced.
The defense from BLG was strong enough to keep FlyQuest away from the Nexus. Knight did so much work. The arrival of Elk solidified it. They now have the minions and they're looking to close out this game.
FlyQuest thought they had the miracle angle. They tried to go for the end, but BLG stand tall. Bin's got the minions, and On's going to join him. BLG will have free firing time on the Nexus turrets. It turned way closer than they thought, but BLG will secure the win and move to match point.
FlyQuest at the precipice of a miracle are shut down by the individual members of BLG. They came so close to getting the lead in this series, but they just couldn't quite get it over the finish line.
Oh, they are going to want to look back at that one, but you have to do it later. You have to do it later. You are in the middle of an elimination series here versus BLG. They have to focus on the next game. What a game that was, though.
BLG ran it for 90% of the game. They almost slipped to the finish line, but close doesn't count. BLG are up 2-1. Let's head on over to the analyst desk to break it down.
Close never counts on the international stage. You have to dot your I's and cross your T's, or BLG will run over you. This is why we say from heaven to hell sometimes in games. This is unbelievable heartbreak for the side of FlyQuest. And BLG, they crawled through, they thread the needle. I'm stunned a little, I gotta say.
Me too.
I feel sad for them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking, right? To be able to battle back in a game like that, you're down in what feels like an impossible position. You're getting pick after pick after pick after pick, and you're being able to take the Baron. And we can watch this one more time. This is the base defense. FlyQuest looking like they were on the precipice of pushing themselves to match point, and they're going for it. They decided to make the call here. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to play ourselves. We're just going to try to go straight for the base here. Inspired though is taking the tower. Busio goes a bit early, and notice the carries aren't really able to follow up. Monster is caught in a CC. They lose the wave. On goes and just buys time. And he realizes at this spot, all he has to do is actually buy time for the respawning members. Bin comes back, Elk comes back, and that's where they take over.
There are times within this game they're getting so high feed. They had the kills. They just needed to wait for the next wave. But you're right. Like if your jungler is taking turret, if like Ahri is just pummeling the Alistar, you just need to take one step back, be patient in that moment.
Yeah, and I will say it was unfortunately at the detriment of EU a couple of times. BLG specifically are very, very, very good at closing the door on you when you think that you have the game-winning fight. We saw it just in play-ins here as well, right?
Yeah, I mean it happened against them that final game. I mean they really felt like they could have extended that series. If they see an opening, if they see an angle, if they see you jittering a little bit like in the play, they will take advantage.
And I think the thing that's so heartbreaking about this game for FlyQuest is I think they had a big compositional advantage. I think they know it. Look how hard it was for BLG to win this game, even down so much gold. We can take a look at some of the early plays that BLG made to put themselves in a really good advantage. I think they pushed the pace of the game very, very well. This was a FlyQuest counterplay. Bubu was baiting on a ward here to try to draw them in. He doesn't force it getting taken down. And they have 5 members top from FlyQuest. You think, okay, they need to get multiple kills for this to be worth it, but they're only able to get the one. BLG with a great escape here. Elk ults out to safety. Knight has a great flash, and he gets out to safety. And meanwhile, they're taking camps, they're taking stuff on the bot side, and then Big has a solo kill. It starts to really snowball a bit out of control.
And I think for BLG also, you see that they read the game a couple of steps further than you are at that point in time. Because Elk and Knight, they already visualized how they were going to get out of that fight possibly because they know that their top laner is calling that he's got the advantage bot. And those are the kind of quantifiables when you're on the enemy team that you can't really blame FlyQuest for.
Yeah, and once again, like if BLG is able to continue to push their lead, and if we look at the next replay and keep it paused, like for me, the focus is going to be on the fact that you have a ward here, here, here. Like they fully see the side of FlyQuest and Infinity, and you roll the replay for me, just keep it going. They're going to see Alistar trying to defend the play because Quad is under turret, he's going to be isolated, and so they just try and go on Busio. They don't end up getting the kill, but the main idea and purpose is to isolate the Rise as much as possible. So they end up pushing Busio away, then they just enclose on Quad, and so now you just have all 4 members from BLG that can just eliminate him. And this is when it was getting pretty frustrating from the side of FlyQuest because you've already pushed Alistar, he's not going to be able to help out the Rise. You see the Poppy come over, and then she ends up dying too. It was just them going down again and again like lemmings with the compositional difference that they had. I just felt like FlyQuest, if they just played it a little bit more slower pace, not willing to take those fights early, they wouldn't end up fine spot.
I mean, there's a lot of fights I think they really are going to want back. There was one in particular, around mid lane where, they had seen both Knight and Elk on a ward. They try to cross in front of them. They give them so many kills over there. I think that was to be kind of the straw that broke the camel's
I think 23 minutes in, I believe it is, where Elk ends up getting a triple, and you're right in that, Masu Senna is also stellar, right?
Yep.
And is farming up those stacks, but then this happens. And this is where Elk says, no, this is my chance to take over this game completely.
Absolutely, and I think he played incredibly well. And the Ghost got so much work done. Elk bides his time, he's able to find an angle here. He ults in on the Busio, and then the Ghost is just getting extended. And he's chasing down Masu. Look at this, they cannot escape from this Ghosted Kai'Sa, closing the gap. W flash in on Whippo, takes down another one. And even with all of the goldies that they had, FlyQuest were still able to find opportunities. They punish on really effectively. But this series has been really interesting. We should check in on the top lane because this was our featured matchup here presented by Mercedes.
Yeah, I would say, and I think it's what the saddest part for me is that this is a comp that I really, really loved out of FlyQuest, right? And it's also for Whippo. He loves this gangplank. And you see, what is the ideal scenario here? What do they want to do with this comp?
I mean, ideal scenario is to be able to play a front to back fight with GP ulti, like Senna ulti, and then like being able to buy time with Poppy ulti. Like they can play a front to back fight so easily. But of course, we are focusing on the top lane matchup, and I felt like a message really good job. This is the fight I was talking about that I thought was a backbreaker because Knight and Elk were actually clearing a ward there. They found a pick on, that's great, but then your carries are funneling through this tight corridor, and Quad and Masu take so much damage there that to me this is really what put Fly kind of so far behind that you start to feel like, okay, well now it needs a miracle. They almost found that miracle. But if I'm FlyQuest, I am kicking myself for that fight right there because I think had they kept the gold lead around 3K, 4K, I don't actually think it's that big of a deal. They were keeping competitive as far as the objectives were going. I think they heavily outscaled their opponents, and I think had they been able to keep it a little bit closer, this was their game. And sometimes you give these ones away, and that is the difference in a series. Yeah, and I just wanted to focus on, we talked about top lane. Sure, the GD at 15 was lower from Bin's side, but he's the one playing the matchups, like basically playing the poor side of the matchups. He's playing the sign, he's playing the Ornn into, but I think he's holding up really well. Especially this game, we were able to get the solo kill into him. Like, we wanted to focus on the matchup. BLG's matchups, Knight and Bin are having a great series. For me, this is going to be a problem. You are one game away from losing it all if you're FlyQuest.
Yeah, we'll be right back to talk about those implications. I will leave you with the information that FlyQuest is staying on that red side. We'll be right back.
Starting to dream, huh?
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to?
Okay, I get it now.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
传奇该如何铸就？
They changed the meta. He pushed the mid himself again.
I'm running wild and I know that no one can tame me. Hall of Fame on my mind, they cannot contain me. I know that I can't stop now. There ain't no way I'm giving up. Won't back down. I've come too far and I know I'm gonna act out until I'm standing on the top. They hear me now. They hear me now. Let them know. Nothing can hold me back. Hold me back. You can try, but you can't. Hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. Hold me back. You can try, but you can't. Hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. I'm giving all I got to succeed. Ain't no way of stopping what I'm destined to be. I'm here for greatness. I was made for more. I got my focus short. Heart is ready, mind is right. Take flight, watch me soar. I won't stop now. There ain't no way I'll ever quit. I'm life loud. They try to hold me back, but I won't ride now. This is something they can't deny. The true sound. I got that fire now. Let them know. Nothing can hold me back. Hold me back. You can try, but you can't. Hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. Hold me back. You can try, but you can't. Hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. Against all odds. Let's go. Rise up. Against all odds. Let's go. Rise up. Against all odds. Let's go.
Let me throw it down to the ground, make him turn around. I can play.
And welcome back here to the venue ahead again for between FlyQuest and BLG. I have the most sane new player with me, Keisha. Thank you very much. What are you doing here? Did you get lost?
I mean, what G2?
Okay, nobody tells me. Okay, tell me, how is it been? How is the atmosphere here?
Oh, everyone here is beautiful, everyone here is happy, and everyone is amazing. I love it.
All right, it's not looking so good for FlyQuest though. What do they need to do to pull this together in Leader Seek 5?
I think we need to see some newness! Come on, no!
Let's see if we can see it happen. Casters, over to you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Kesha. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Best of 5 Elimination Series between BLG and FlyQuest. BLG had control over almost the entirety of game number 3 with their powerful dive comp, but right at the very end, they stumble. FlyQuest almost come back to steal the game away,
Dude,
but
move
they
on.
can't quite do it. BLG at match point.
Dude, I gotta be honest, that one really hurt. That one really hurt. Vegas, we didn't have to do that!
I've been there. I get you. I know. It's like reliving it. The BLG already did once of this MSI.
Okay, we gotta move on. We gotta focus up here. Okay, they still have a chance. BLG here are on match point. They could easily end FlyQuest hopes, send them home after that Nexus defense. FlyQuest,
right.
focus up.
Into Champion Select powered by Omen HyperX for the 4th time today, and the bans look so similar. It's deja vu in draft as the Cassiopeia and Azir remain banned by BLG. Every time they're on blue side, the Twisted Fate continues to be banned by FlyQuest, but this time it's Lucian they're banning away instead of the Varus, while BLG maintains their first set of bans in their entirety, continuing to remove the Galio. FlyQuest will continue to remove the Rumble.
Yeah, BLG really want that Rumble, and FlyQuest like, we are not giving it to you. But actually, when we get to game 4, champions like Varus have to be let through the pool, and so BLG will grab that one for themselves. Should come as no surprise. Think about what?
Caitlyn Elise?
Potentially.
What are we looking at here, yeah?
There's also Sivir, Jhin. Yeah, Jhin, very common matchup. The Bard is available. I do like Bard into Varus. It could also be very early into the draft, of course. I need to prioritize the Bard now.
We will get to Jhin. Remember back in game 2 when we had the interview with Lore and I Will Dominate, Dom talked about how he didn't want to see the Kalista Renata, how he would like to see something like a Jhin Bard instead. We'll see if that ends up being the pairing here for FlyQuest, or if they'd rather go for something else here first. Inspired in the jungle, just so critical for this team every single time. Getting him on a priority pick early on could be what they need here, and that Trundle is very powerful in the right situations. They'll lock it in.
Interesting. Yeah, it does a couple of things, blind Trundle. Obviously, it's going to dissuade tanks for top lane and a lot of like blind top lane champions there. Also, extremely good if you have winning lanes and for it to go for invades because he just dominates on so many jungle
Is it
ones.
Nocturne a common response into this?
Nah, you definitely can go Nocturne. I mean, you can do the like.
Because like the things I think of like Jarvan. I mean, like Jarvan's okay in a Trundle early on, you get really bullied. Lee Sin could also be fine. Nocturne is another possibility. Trying to think of like, you could go more like Maokai I don't love, you just get super bullied out in the early game. Skarner, I mean, usually you want to avoid picking tanks into the Trundle, but of course, if you connect with the CC, there's not much the Trundle can do about it. Alright, they're going to go for the blind Yorick on the top side of the map. Been very well known for this champion domestically.
Yeah, very good at it.
Speaking of domestically, I know domestically, Azale hates the blind Yorick. Talks about how the champion is very good in his good matchup, but also has some seriously punishing ones.
Okay, but we did see Wibbo try and do Mordekaiser into Flandre's Yorick, and that one was a miss.
A little rough.
So I think it will be a different choice of counterpick this time around.
But we get bored.
Sion is fearlessly banned, so Cho'Gath is one of the big ones.
I mean, do you reckon Whippo would play Aurelia?
No. I don't have that feeling. I think it's just too hard to operate later for the side.
Shogun definitely feels like a front runner. Right.
But they might just ban.
Exactly. So now that you expect junglers to be pinched on the side of FlyQuest, I wonder if Nocturne will be considered for their bans. Syndra, they're going to pick apart Knight's Pool, try and limit what options he has available with Cassio, Azir, Galio, Twisted Fate, Syndra. That's an additional 5 bans on top of the 6 mid laners already taken out of this series.
So we're looking at like Orianna tier at the moment.
Well, no,
that goes.
So now we're looking at even like Ziggs mid lane. Oh, we're really getting deep in the mid lane pool now, aren't we?
I mean, Silas is still up.
Silas
Silas is good.
These comps.
Veigar.
Oh my, Veigar could be super interesting. I think we're struggling to a Bard. Oh, Kali, that's a good ban as well. One of the more mobile mid lane champions that we see.
We get a 4th mid lane ban in the second half from BLG. They know they need to target solo laners specifically. They'll ban out that Silas.
Alright, so the mid pool is very narrow now.
Wei,